Well, good morning out there, out there, from in here, out here. Where'd Vivi go? Oh, she's by the door. She's guarding. No, she's asleep. By the door. She likes that spot by the door. So you get her nose. Hi, Mark. Oh. Well, I don't know about you, but you know what's really hit me about those hearings is to see all these people who have been harmed, all but their lives are all but destroyed, not them. I mean, the people involved are one thing, making testimonies, but then when you see these everyday people like us who've had their lives destroyed, that's the part that's... Is the mic working good? That's the part that, I don't know. What difference does it make how it affects me? But that's the part that hurts the most. To see that this man is who he is. Ah, boy. Oh, wonderful news about the new poet laureate, Ada Limón. Oh, she's just such a lovely soul and does that show, The Slowdown, every single day and has a beautiful essay to preface the poem she reads. Wow, that's just, it's, oh, there goes the book. Oh, there go my notes. Let's keep things normal. Yeah. Yeah, I caught myself this week. I was folding laundry and I wasn't paying attention. Yeah. Because it should be a nice ritual. After all, this is Julie's t-shirt and you fold it. Yeah, it's important. Every dish that goes in the dishwasher. Can you hear that traffic outside? Boy, it's way far away and you can still hear it. Next week I start teaching a group of African American parents in New York City online. They're reading a book and I'm just going to try to stay out of the way and have them write and read 2 hours once a week for 4 weeks. Send up a wish balloon that it goes well for me. Yeah. Do you do this? I love this. Sitting on the porch during a rainstorm. And Vivi and I, we sat together and just sat and listened to the rain and watched the rain and felt the rain, and the air is different, you know. That's a good thing. I mean, stop everything and head to the porch if it rains, you know, or somewhere. Big to-do in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh Steelers, the football team, and the Pitt Panthers play on Heinz Field. You know, Heinz pickles are made in Holland. But they're known, Heinz is all Pittsburgh. You say Pittsburgh/Heinz, or Pittsburgh/Steelers, as they say in Pittsburgh. But now it's the, what is it? Esquire or some, Squire, what is it? Julie's laughing, I don't know. But the place is in Grand Rapids. Now what's that got to do with Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh's such a small town city. It's made of neighborhoods. So it's a whole bunch of small towns that are, you know, connected and get along and stuff. And now it's not Heinz Field. It's been Heinz Field forever. Well, it'll still be. I know everybody will be going. You're going down the Heinz there to watch them there stores? When I first came to Hope and I said to my students, now make sure you keep your rooms rid up. They said, what? I said, make sure you keep your rooms rid up. What? And here I thought rid up, which is a Pittsburgh thing for keep it, you know, fairly, not neat, but keep things in their place. I thought that was a word. Of course, I'm pretty provincial. I've been where? 2 places in my life? So, you know. Here's a fun one. This wonderful critic editor, Don Revelle, took a poem of mine to publish. And he said, which was just so uplifting and helpful, he said, it's the most beautiful poem I've read in about 2 years. Well, I had inadvertently sent it to a couple other places. You can do that now. And another place this week rejected it. That's the life of poems. Yeah, the most beautiful poem I've read in 2 years. Reject. We don't want it. Sucks. Yeah, maybe it was the title. It's titled My Mother's Ivory Hippopotamus. Ah, boy. These Trump types, do they know I already said that, didn't I? Do you know that every walk that we take, every step that we take, it keeps us from falling? We're actually falling when we take a step. I learned that this week in a book called Walking. You take a step and you're falling, but then you come up and you don't fall. I don't know if that, that doesn't matter. And that's what's so good. We got to do more things like that don't matter. Finding things out like that. That's important. Like Derek Jeter is the only player to miss being unanimously selected to the Hall of Fame by 1 vote. You want to be that guy? That guy, he didn't vote for Derek Jeter, or it'd have been unanimous. Yeah. What does that say? Something about a baby sister and... oh, I know what that is. We've had guests across the street. They've had guests, their grandchildren. And the little guy, he's been riding his bicycle like he's in, the Indy 500, up the driveways and down around the cul-de-sac. Well, his sister hadn't learned to ride a bike yet. And Grandpa took the training wheels off the bike and just sort of guided her. And then there was this magic moment when there she went. And of course, Brother now is really trying to show her, show her the ropes and how fast you can really go. I mean, you're just pedaling, sis. Watch this. Yeah. So, one of the things I've noticed, if you get bad news today, really sad news or bad news, doesn't it affect you all the more because it's so paradoxical? It's just, don't say that word. It's so important, and it's so shattering. And then you have to have all this other stuff going on out there that doesn't need to go on. Right? It doesn't need to go on. There don't need to be people massacring people. It doesn't need to be Donald Trump. These hearings shouldn't be wasting time. All the time should be spent on our own personal things. And we're just reduced to, right? Have you been on CNN lately? No. Well, to Ada Limón. She's going to be a wonderful, wonderful poet laureate after Joy Harjo has been so terrific. 3 terms, Joy Harjo. Only one other poet has been 3 terms. I don't know why he was, but he was. But Joy Harjo, whew. Thanks to Julie, we're here again today, of course. And she's knitting, and she's doing this new thing. What's it called? The twisting, the...
Bouquet.
Bouquet. She's doing bouquet. I could show it to you, I think. Do I have any bouquet? No, we don't have any, but it is beautiful. It's beautiful. And it's incredibly difficult. Incredibly difficult. So I run the sweeper and Julie does the incredible difficult. Yeah. Our garden, oh well, I already told you. It was something though to take a straight line in the back of our house and make it disappear. That was really fun to see that it worked. Yeah, that it worked. And I solved the squirrel problem. I gave up. Poem called Recovery. It was too many years after the shock to even care what chapter and verse it was that opened up the innocent synapse into trauma that now, without a sign, erupts when least expected. Why would frying eggs or driving past a deer dead by the road pull that trigger? Pull it every time for 32 years. Why? Because of hellfire, the evangelical, the literal, the certainty of words Calvin, Paul, or Augustine wrote. That's why. Like a mugging in a dark alley, it bloodied me and sent me into catatonic meditation. After 5 wards, 13 electroshocks, varied meds and therapists, my wife's steady look, it evaporated faster than my soft-spoken father's lack of answers. And now I lug the bin of birdseed, a spade and garden fork, stuff my all-weather garden gloves in my back pocket, slap on the old ball cap, and head out back. Fill the feeders and find a place I had overlooked. Push aside the mulch and start to dig. I'll fill the hole with what I'll find at Charlie and Ann's garden center. They always have something we don't yet have. And yet deciding without my partner's approval brings a leftover worry up my back of my neck. Married 42 years should be proof enough, but an old fear often betrays my assurance, even though I know she'll nod and be glad and say, "That's the perfect spot. How'd you see it? I never would have." Maybe only another can see and assure our own vision disappearing, like when each snowflake warmly lands. But it's spring, enacting its metamorphosis, and I will return from Charlie and Ann's, carrying several plants we don't have, and a flat of varied annuals to fill in the empty spaces in each plot. After making sure each hole is deep enough, I'll pat the soil and set each plant, fill in around it, replace the mulch, and rake it smooth around the stems. With luck, I won't have to water. The air signaling the gray of these clouds will soon bring rain. I will believe I've added something good to a world I was taught was not. And unafraid, head back to the house where I'll savor looking out the window. Be kind. Try to be cheerful. Take care. Thanks for being with me. Thanks, Julie.